Okay. So let's talk about why Ciara why I think at least she's making a song about being single even though she's married with children. Um so first of all, Ciara is, if you didn't know this, if you go back to when Ciara first started her career, Ciara is a pop girl. Ciara is not a songwriter. Um all of her songs, she didn't write any of them. I think she had like Candy. There was all these other ATL girls who were writing her songs. Sierra was just like the cute one, like the pretty one. Who she's just like a she's just, like y'all really think that there can only be like one black girl, which is so strange. Every single girl has her own unique experience, and there's hella white pop girls. So like I don't know why y'all think that there can only be one black pop girl. There can be many, and we are in dire need of representation. y'all, y'all really be out here feeling like everybody is just like, and there the weird part is like there is an entire music industry, okay, like A&R people, teams, radio hosts. Like the music industry as a business in America is well established. They know how to pick a white girl out of the sky. Anywhere on earth they will find a white girl who's talking about like, I am eating dirt, I am doing whatever, they'll find her. But like, even though there's like all these unique experiences of black girls, which now you see we have like YouTube channel, day in the life. I don't know. Like, I guess that's the weird thing too. It's really hard to tell like whose story is real. I guess that's why we have to have like Instagram stories where people are posting like a photograph of what they want to share with you, and then they're posting like a video of like something that they're like crafting a video. That's why everybody's like, I have to edit. Oh, I have to edit. Oh, I have to edit. Like, if you are actually doing something that's really cool, why do you need to edit it? I feel like most of the girls who need to edit are only editing because like they are trying to like make sure the way that they tell the story is correct, as opposed to just legitimately telling the story the way that it happened. Like if it really happened to you, you would just be able to tell the story. You don't really need a script, right? Pretty much. Like, do you script when you talk to people in real life? No. What's the whole point of watching a video at this point in like in on TV? What's the point? There's so many shows, and there's always been so many shows. And like the weird part about this is like you can just go and, how can I say this? If you just go out into the real world and meet somebody new, you're going to have a whole unique experience. Why? Because like that person is somebody who's living a different life than you. Like this is America, and like most adults, okay, are living individual lives. As in like there's not this shared story of like me and my whole tribe and my family and all the people and the 1,027,000 other people in my house. No, like everybody's an individual. They all have different political wants and needs. Everybody's voting most of the people who have jobs are using politics mostly because we have to decide how to spend the public tax dollars that we all pay into. Now there's weird shit happening with like black people where like they just don't pay for anything anyway because they don't like work. Maybe some of them do, I don't know. The ones who work I feel like care about a lot of these like public policy issues and like crime and stuff, but the ones who don't, yeah, I mean, what do they have to lose? I guess for a minute I was in this place where I was like looking at everybody as like a human. Oh, everybody has this human potential and all this shit. Then what I realized is that like every single day I still have to like get up and go work for my dreams and my livelihood. And so the people who aren't doing that, like they have found some way to mooch, right? They're like they've hacked the system in some way where they are not contributing to their own like survival. So maybe it's their parents who's footing the bill. They're still living at home. There's some guy who's footing the bill. Like whatever the issue is, where there's a bill that's being paid for and it ain't by your hard work, this ain't the channel for them. I feel like if that's not your story, then you shouldn't even pay attention to it at all. Watch somebody else's story. Like, I am not the type of girl that people pay rent for. Like, it ain't me. Like, I'm never that girl. Like, girls like me, there ain't no dude to pay any rent for us. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, in all of my lived experience, like, in terms of like beauty, like, I'm extremely beautiful, but not in a way that's like, I don't know. All I can say is I feel like they should put my face on an abortion box because like it's just like I am the anti-American, okay? Like there's no way in hell I was ever going to get the American dream, the white picket fence, and I've known this from maybe from the time that I was like 7. So I just had to live my entire life in this way of like stay away from niggers, stay away from men in general, and just kind of like walk the other fucking way because like they are only there to take things from you. Your time, your money, your resources, your mental energy, just everything you have until you don't have anything left. And that's why you see all these like traumatized people out there, all these women who are being like exploited and they're being taken advantage of in all these ways. And there's so many black girls who've just like been taken advantage of their entire lives. So like they just think like any man even being nice to them is like a start. And it's ridiculous, honestly. It's fucking ridiculous. Like if you are I don't know, if you're doing something by the book, you've got a job, you're just in school, you're on financial aid, whatever it is, like your experience is valuable. Your experience is real. Like you are working toward your own version of the American dream, and that's fucking real. But also I think it's just very strange. That's why I don't know. I don't really I think it's so problematic to have this conversation about the American princess, right? Like where people are like, my daughter this, my niece that, my blah blah blah. Like they're talking about their children, especially their girls, in this way where they're like promoting their like purity and chastity and comparing them and like demonizing this other Jezebel sort of figure. When in reality, I mean, if you go watch Gossip Girl for yourself and you actually live in like upper class neighborhood, like maybe not in the South because I've never lived in the Bible Belt, but if you're living in cities like California or New York, there's just all these like social norms that are very different, and like purity and wealth are not really intertwined in maybe the North in the same way that they are in the South. Um, so in the South, you're kind of, I feel like women at least are gauged by their chastity. It's like, oh, okay, so if you're virginal, then you're more pure and you're more worthy, I suppose, of respect. Um, and so if you're a woman and you're like not pure or something, then oh, okay, well then you have an issue. You're the problem. They try to tell you all this shit about yourself. And I don't know. I would honestly encourage you to just like not give a shit about what anyone says. Like what anyone says, what anyone else says, it just doesn't fucking matter. Like if they, because that's the other thing that's so strange. Like people will make up stories. They will be like, you did this, you said this, you went there, and you'll try to like confront someone to their face, and you'll be like, why would you say that about me, or why would you do this to me, or like, especially like if men, like if you're in a relationship with a guy and then you trust that guy and you share something with him, maybe you share like your body, you share like your a secret, some personal information, and then that person just goes and exploits it. Like they go share it with someone else. They go like, write it on the internet. They go like just all these things. They do all of this shit that's just so awful. And the thing is, like with technology and all this stuff, like people don't even give a shit. They just do it all day and they're out here. I don't even want to say it's like ruining lives. It's not like ruining lives. It's more like, to me, I feel like it's just a really good sign of like people are trash. Like the person who's like going online to like blast someone else's bad behavior without first trying to address it with that person is shitty. They're shitty. But also, I just feel like we really have to have a conversation about vulnerability, because there are so many people who, like, things are happening to them, like rape, incest, all this shit, and they're too ashamed, they're too afraid to admit that those things happened, that they just kind of literally walk through the world as if they didn't happen, when in reality they did happen. It is so important for you to confront the things that have happened to you, that have made you sad, that have made you hurt, um that have made you uncomfortable, like whatever it is. And I feel like Ciara is like giving us that. She's talking to herself, because you guys remember when Ciara said that, when I guess she was in a relationship with Future, and then she talked about how awful of a guy he was. And Future is an awful guy. I don't think any woman in her right mind should date Future. I think only like drug addicts and like people who are like extreme capitalists. Like, I think Helen should date Future, because I feel like Helen would probably fuck him up and take his money. Which, like, you know, like, that's what she should do. But I don't feel like she would love him. I don't know. Maybe she would. I don't know. I don't feel like any person who actually is looking for a meaningful relationship, you won't find that in Future. So you should definitely go into the future without this nigga. Like, you should, and that would probably mean having a goal for yourself. Mm. The other thing that I think a lot of like, so I was saying this in the beginning. So somebody else wrote these songs for Ciara to be like a pop girl. Now she was talking about like her goodies, her makeup, all these things about her that are like so great. Oh, Ciara's so great because of this. She's great because of that. All this is true. And then she was like dating Bow Wow, and it was the whole thing. Like, Ciara was like all the vibes. Like, growing up, for me, like, Ciara is like totally incredible. Like, she's incredible. But um watching Ciara perform, to me, I did not like her as an artist, because she wasn't writing any of her own music. She had no opinion. She was like one of those factory black pop girls. She's just like cute, and she's got this like long wavy weave. And then she just also, to me, her body was very strange. She was just like extremely thin and muscular for like a black girl, but she didn't have any boobs, so she wasn't like her body type was not like my body type. Like, I'm much more of like a Marilyn Monroe esque, or like Dorothy Dandridge body type. Like, Ciara doesn't have that. She's just flat. She's just flat as a motherfucker, and like that means like her boobs are small. So she's like not. She's just like girl. Like, Ciara is giving you girl. Like, I have a vagina. Maybe she's like, I guess, the Gwen Stefani of like. I don't know. Whatever. If I have to be honest, like, I feel like my lived experience is much more like Sabrina Claudio than it is a I don't know, I just relate to like a Sabrina Claudio, her music, right, a little bit more than a Ciara. Like I said, I've said this so many times. I've never related to Beyonce. I didn't start relating to Beyonce until I was like, I don't even know. I'm not gonna talk about age, but like, in terms of albums, the only Beyonce album I related to was self-titled. That's when I feel like I started to understand Beyonce. Most artists start their career with the self-titled album. Beyonce, Taylor Swift, right? Olivia Rodrigo. Every album, it starts with your name. Like, who are you as this person? Harry's House, Harry Styles. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, so I guess if you're trying to come out as an artist and you're trying to figure out how to start with your own story, because your own story is so unique, right? And like, literally, I think the people who are on Twitter who are criticizing Ciara for writing this art, for writing or singing this song now, have a very interesting critique. But I think those women need to like check themselves, because they're trying to look at Ciara as some sort of like role model for them. Adult women shouldn't be like, Ciara is not a role model, an influencer for no fucking adult women. If you're an adult woman and you're looking to any other woman at all to be like a role model and to be like, why are you telling us to do this? Like, bitch, you need therapy. You got a problem. Why are you looking to another grown ass woman to tell you anything? Like, something is wrong with you, girl. Like, you're a grown up looking at Ciara, who's a pop star, making pop albums for teenagers. Like, be serious. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, like I said many times, the black community is down bad now. Has been down bad. It's just like this series of like down bad times. It's like, why does every story have to be filled with this trauma porn where like everyone is struggling? Like, everyone, like, come on, like, somebody's got to get out and live, because like that's the other thing that's super weird about this. There's just not even enough resources. Like, I feel like this is the reason like poverty is so insane. Like, you have to go out and like bust your ass and pay your own bills. You can't mooch off of someone else. Like, it's just crazy to have this literal situation where there's like 10 and 12 people like living in a home, living in an apartment or something, and they all think that like this is a solution. It's not. Like, everybody has to go out into the world and get a career and like be something in life. You have to. There's just not like another option. Like, that's the thing that you do. That's the cost of being alive. These artists over the years are literally just telling stories about, I really don't know what the black pop girls are strange because they tell stories about like weird shit. So I don't even listen. I have no idea what they're writing about. I have no idea, but I think you should go follow Fab Socialism. She seems to cover like cultural commentary, and the Kenya does too, the down badness of the artists and how awful they all are. I don't know. Maybe Ciara will talk about some fucking feelings about something and it'll just help somebody feel something about something. We don't even know. Ciara should make a song about her praying for a husband and getting one, because like all the black girls seem to like love that fucking story. I went to church and I prayed for a husband and then I found one. I prayed him into my life. Okay, like I've said, like these niggas know what church is. They're not stupid. Like they know what church is. Also, and like, let's be serious. Do you really think that like black men are going to continue going to a church where there's like no women there? Or maybe this is actually the case and black American men are really stupid. Like, if there ain't no women in the church, why do you keep going? You're praying for, what do you think? Women fall out of this fucking sky like they're just grown like fucking corn or something? No. Like, these dudes pretty much, if you really grew up in the church all like that, then the same people that you grew up in church with, you would be dating them. You would be marrying them, and y'all not. Like, y'all are out here single and child, and you're having children out of wedlock, and you're just ruining society, and really global society too. Like, stop ruining lives. Let poor women have their poor husbands, and go listen to Bruno Mars and just have an experience and grow up. Okay, like. It's so weird. Also, this is why we need problematic black girls who are on YouTube who have shit to say, because like, damn, like y'all really think your like toxic ass behavior is not leading into the fucking gutter when it is. Like, honestly, what's happening with like Blueface and their gang, I think that they will go to therapy and get better. I think we will watch their relationship get better. But I also think that like right now their relationship is fucking toxic as fuck. I mean, they're like punching each other out, shooting each other, just all this shit. Just like, damn, I wrote so many. That live was so good. If you guys didn't watch Blueface and What's Your Face go live today, it was so good. Like, they were really like, oh my god, they had like really shared some shit. Like, they had really shared some really good stuff, and I think that like, oh man, I just feel like more people should like listen, you know. Yeah, but I feel like we already had a song about independent women, so I don't know why we need another one. Maybe every generation you need the person who actually grabs the mic and is like, single, that's so I wanna be. We have so many of them. We have Natasha Bedingfield, who's like, I'm single. This is great. Ciara's like, I'm single. Like, you cannot be ashamed to be single. If you are not in a committed relationship, a committed public relationship where you are committed to somebody, they are committed to you, y'all are out in public together, both of y'all are claiming each other. Like, I really don't know. I feel like people are out here dating and they're just not calling it dating. That's what situationship by Snow Allegra just detailed something that we really needed to unpack as a society. Like, I mean, the sneaky links situationship and sort of like the nigga toss up that we have all been doing. I feel like it might be time to put those tricks of the trade. I might have gone a little bit overboard, okay? With my little black books and my 3 phone numbers. It was I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ruin lives, but I just refuse to play the victim. So this is not a victim narrative. I'm going to live until I die. So I don't really know what to say.